So we got Justin's Cutlass up here today. We're gonna go get in this thing, take it down the road, just check everything over good, see how she's running, just check the suspension out, see how everything, make sure it settles. A lot of these cars, when we raise them up and stuff, they'll settle over the first few days, weeks, really just driving it. All the new suspension kind of sets in. So we're gonna take it down the road, see how everything's doing, make sure everything's running good engine wise. We gotta do a little work to it anyway, so we're gonna check it out, see how things are going. So y'all stay tuned for that one. And also we're gonna give y'all, let me sneak over here, got a little sneak peek of a couple cars we got coming up. This is gonna be a pretty cool little build we're doing. It's a little dusty, it's been sitting inside, but so this is a little twin turbo LS. This little Chevy 2 should make probably close to around 1,000 horsepower. It's a little build we got going on. Like I said, we're finishing it up for a buddy of mine. Show y'all that one. And then also we got a Chevelle over here that we're doing some little EFI conversion on. Gonna put some vintage air on, some Dakota digital, just a few little upgrades on it. So that's two builds we got going on at the moment that we're just finishing up, waiting on some parts to come in. So y'all look forward to them. Like I said, we're gonna do, this will be a big build. This will probably be like a two-part deal on this because we got a lot of work to do to this car. So this is gonna be a pretty big project. Same with the Chevelle. We got a big bunch of work going on it. So we'll do a little probably two-part on it and show y'all everything in that build too. So y'all stay tuned for that. They kick the videos out if they got music playing. But we're gonna test drive Justin's Cutlass today, just see, make sure everything's settling right. A lot of time on these big rim cars, still got to test drive them over a few days, just make sure everything, when it settles out, everything's good. But we'll take it for a ride and see how everything's going on it. This car's got, I don't know if y'all seen the engine on this one. It's got a little supercharger on it, old school kind, the one that bolts to the intake. But it runs pretty good. It's not a race car by any means, but it runs pretty good. It's a real nice cruiser. These things don't really ride bad. I mean, you would think with the big rims, the little tires, it stiffens up the ride a little bit, but it's really not that bad. This car rides really good. It doesn't have the super low pro tires on the front, but it still rides really good. Actually, we're going to do a little engine work to it. It's not running 100%. You don't really feel like it's got a skip to it, but it's, I don't think it's ignition related, but I think it's got something going on. It don't feel like quite as good as it should feel. I think we're going to wind up going into the engine and do a little bit of work to it. It's got a nice, nice little small block in it. tell the brakes, it's gonna need some bigger brakes on it. Get a couple people pull out in front of you a little bit. It don't stop terrible, but it could use some brake upgrades. And that's one thing about these big rims, man, they're so heavy compared to the stock stuff that you need to keep that in mind when you are considering upgrading the big rims. Is go ahead and put you a little bit better braking system on it, because someone pull out in front of you, it could get ugly real quick. You know, a little bit of money spent on a nice brake system save you some big money when you crash the car out. Because it's kind of hard to stop it if you panic stop. But you could get on this one, you could cruise on the highway with this one. I don't know what rear gear he has in the back, but it's just got a 3-speed transmission in it, and it cruises out pretty good. Rims help that, of course, you know, a little taller. Helps the gear ratio. Shop, they always bring car to you on empty. Yeah, this thing runs real good at a cruise. I don't know if you can hear it in the video. It doesn't run exactly right off idle. It's got something going on off idle. It's probably got something going on with the camshaft, because it's not really skipping, but as soon as it comes down into an idle, it's not running great. So we're gonna have to check that out and see what's going on with that, because something's not 100% there. It's a little bit off. It's not got a super big camshaft in it anyway, but it doesn't never really roll or hit a lick like it should. I don't know if it's got something going on with one of the cam lobes, or maybe it could just be the adjustment. The valve adjustment could be off. But it's not solid roll or anything like that. It's just a hydraulic flat tappet. So generally they don't change the adjustment anyway. You don't generally have to mess with them. Once you set them one time, they're usually fine. That's the only thing I really noticed so far. Car drives good. Just doesn't really run real great at idle. Yeah, as soon as you come off idle, it's fine. Car's got all the stock suspension on it still. Really, as far as upper and lower control arms, it's not been changed, but it still rides good. Like I said, to me personally, if I'm doing one, I would upgrade the suspension. Just gonna give a little bit more performance out of it. But it really runs and drives good, so you don't necessarily have to do it. You know, if you're trying to stick to a certain budget, you don't have to buy all the control arms and all that fancy stuff. But I would at least consider upgrading the brakes, even if you didn't do the arms and the coilovers and all that stuff. Just keep the brakes in mind. Even if you didn't buy, they make different kits now, so you don't have to buy a $2,000 brake kit. You know, you can just spend a little bit, upgrade the calipers in the front. Even if you just got to a 4-piston caliper in the front, that would help considerably. Pull in right here and grab some gas real quick so we can make it back to the shop. I don't want this thing to run out. We're gonna be test driving and messing with it, trying to figure out what's going on with how it's running, so I don't want it to run out on us. got a little bit more in there now. We can get back. I'll show y'all when we get back to the shop vault. As long as he don't care, we'll pop the hood and show the engine in this thing. Like I said, he don't really do anything racing wise with this car. We'll show the motor in it. Like I said, it runs really good. It's real. It ain't super strong, but it's not bad. It don't run like his other two cars, but it runs good. Just a nice cruiser. Like I said, really driving wise, car runs great. I don't hear any scrubbing or anything like that, so none of the wheels are hitting anywhere. So it hadn't really settled much. If it was mine, I would put a bigger camshaft in it just for the sound of it. I mean, it's got a decent converter in it. It's probably got about a 2400 or something stall converter in it. So I'd probably go ahead and up the cam a little bit, just get something with a little bit of sound, just so when you do pull up to a light or whatever, you can hear it. It sounds a little bit better. Car looks good, so sound might as well match it. Show coming up, so we're going to be doing a few upgrades on this to get it ready for that. Try to get him ready. He's going to enter a few of his cars in it. It shows in Monroe, I believe, so we're trying to get the car ready for that. So over the next couple weeks we'll be doing a video on that, little upgrades, whatever we find engine wise, we're going to fix that, depending on if he wants to go ahead and do the brakes right now. We'll show that. Also, we got those other two builds coming. Like I said, that Nova, it's twin turbo LS. It's gonna be a nice build we're working on. Somebody had already started the build, and a friend of mine wanted to buy the car, so they did some of the stuff. They basically just set the motor over in it. So we got to finish it up. We got to plumb the turbos, get all the stuff mounted for that, get all the brakes working, rims fitting, make sure everything's clear. So that's gonna be one we got coming up. The Chevelle, it's getting EFI, it's getting a little Holley, I think it's Holley sniper system we're putting on it. And then we've got a Dakota Digital going in it, vintage air going in it. So we'll show all that too. We're going to be doing an exhaust build. Actually, I have a lot of people ask us about exhaust. We do a lot of aluminum exhaust, which you don't have to do it for, you know, it's a street car, you don't have to have aluminum exhaust, just mainly for weight savings. But for race stuff, we're going to be putting a aluminum exhaust on one of Justin's cars, so we're going to show that build also. So just keep a watch out for those. So we'll have them coming up probably within about the next week or so. We're waiting on a few pieces of material to come in for the exhaust, so we'll get that started, get a video made of it. Thing about this car, it's got super nice interior, but it's quiet too inside. That's one thing about most hot rods, man. You can't even hear yourself think inside the car. But this one's nice. It's real quiet. Just like this, good running, driving car. Rides smooth, and really, besides looking at it, you wouldn't really know that it had big rims on it. So still runs and drives good. Like I said, whoever did all the stuff on it interior wise, they did a nice job. It's got real nice interior. I would probably change the shifter. I wouldn't really, honestly, man, for me personally, I'd like to see it back on the column. mean, it's a nice original looking car, so I would probably put it back on the column and get rid of the floor shifter. It's not like it's a manual valve body. Needs AC. That's one thing I'm gonna have to get on about. When I was younger, man, I didn't care. I didn't care about no AC. I didn't care about power steering. I didn't care about none of that. Didn't really care. I wanted everything to be manual. Now, gotta have AC. I'm too big. I'd be sweating too bad. So you're gonna have to get him some vintage air or something put on this thing, get the AC put back on it. Or at least get it working anyway. It may still be on the car, I really don't know. But get that back on it. Should have a real nice complete car then. It's funny how you change when you get a little older though. I said I used to drive hot rods all the time back and forth to work, 30, 40 miles. No problem. 4500 stall converters, didn't care, solid rollers. The older you get spoiled. So I will like I said, as long as they don't care, we'll pop the hood and kinda go over the engine, see what's going on with this thing. But I tell you what, man, I gotta at least see if this thing's gonna spin the tires, because it don't feel as strong as the mother. We gotta see if it's down on power or what it's got going on, but we're gonna see anyway. All right, so we got it back here. Like I said, overall, man, it rides really good. Can't really tell anything different as far as it being a big rim car. Now I will say, I know y'all seen the pop in the video, so I suspect it's a cam, something going on with a camshaft. It's kind of always been like that a little bit. When you first crank it, it's real kind of like snotty down low. It doesn't really want to run real good at idle. So we're gonna tear into this thing and see if we can figure out what's going on, because we got to fix that. Because like I said, you can see in the little burnout video, when I went to get on the gas, it popped out the carburetor. So we're gonna see if we can get into it and figure out what's going on with that. But
just spun my tires again.
Yeah. Yeah, I got him again. So we're gonna I had to try, just to see, but I'm glad I did, because like I said, I wouldn't know it was gonna pop like that. So, and like I said, it ain't skipping or anything, but it's got something going on inside the motor. We're gonna pull it in, check compression, do our little rundown and see if we can figure out what's going on. But I'm about probably 90% sure it's got something going on with that camshaft. But we're gonna check it out, man. We'll get back and let y'all know. We're gonna put it all in the video. Y'all stay tuned.